Hi, Hari. So I have three issues with respect to layout that we need to fix. The first is on the lessons page. So on the lessons page, we have all of these search criteria, but they're listed horizontally, and that's very difficult to use. They need to be listed, they're listed vertically, right, up and down, and that's hard to use. They need to be listed horizontally. So you need to change them to be horizontal on top of the page as opposed to vertical. We have a lot of wasted space here that we could use, but we want these to be listed horizontally. So these search criteria, these search boxes should be horizontal. Please change them to be horizontal. In addition to that, I'm finding trouble because when I go to a lesson, well, let me use it this way. When I filter, I'm going to filter for university and colleges, language is English, English, categories is, let's do business, which gives me a subcategory of marketing. All right? So I've made a choice, and I'm going to run this now. The problem that I have is that when this begins to run and it filters, the screen goes white. That's not acceptable. There needs to be a loading icon. We can't allow the screen to turn white. The same thing happens a number of different times. When I click on a various lesson, it again goes white. It needs to have a loading icon. We cannot allow the screen to go white. This is not the only time this happens. This also happens here. When we click All Notes, the All Notes page opens and everything turns white. We need a loading icon instead. Please check all instances to make sure that we have a loading icon, not a page that turns white. When we get to all Notes, I have no idea that we are on an All Notes page. So we need to have a title that says All Notes, My Notes, or maybe the username plus notes. Also, the filters need to be horizontal again, not vertical. The display also needs to change. Now we have a couple different lessons that we've taken notes on. Notes testing videos, Singapore math, good derivatives. Those are really the only three lessons that we've taken notes on. Those are all that should show when I click to sort by lesson. If I click to sort by lesson, again, this white space cannot happen. We need to have a loading icon, no white space. But the result, instead of listing one by one, each with a title of each with a lesson of notes testing video, the display needs to be notes testing video with a plus sign next to it. And that plus sign should be expandable so that we can see all of our notes listed by date for this particular video. Now we have 3 videos, so all that should show here are 3 lessons with plus signs next to them so that we can expand that lesson to see our notes for that particular lesson. The plus sign should turn into a minus sign so that we can then contract that lesson. Now, I'm going to go back and I'm going to talk about one more thing, and this is very important because on our lessons, I'm just using the back arrow, but on our lessons, these keywords are actually intended to be used as meta tags. So these are SEO, meta tags on the page. We do not need to show this on this particular page. These can be hidden from the user. Those are meta tags. And I would say that the same thing exists down here. Okay, I do like the post, but all of this stuff is predominantly used in SEO. Excuse me. So it's predominantly used in SEO. We don't need to have all of this information there. This stuff, SEO purposes only. So please hide that from the page. I think these few steps, number one, correcting the filters to be horizontal instead of vertical. Number two, removing the reversion to white space and using loading icons. Number three, fixing the layout of all notes. And number four, removing these SEO criteria, at least hiding them and creating meta tags with them instead, is what we should do right now to improve the layout. Thank you.